All right, everybody. So I won't be here long, but I have been wanting to speak about this for quite some time. And I know that YouTube is a public platform. It really is. And so since it is that, I want to talk about people that have a perceived mental illness, okay? Because as a authentic spiritualist, I don't necessarily believe in mental illness. And I think that if you believe in that kind of thing, then you can definitely have symptoms of mental illness. I believe that a lot of the stuff that happens to us is happening spiritually, but there's a lot of people that have this belief of that. So I can't argue with that. However, I believe that there are very sick people, very sick in the mind. And I'm going to give you guys an example because, first of all, I am going to try to get in touch with the FBI about this troll that continuously calls me unknown. Thank you. I think that a lot of people would like to talk about this because as a spiritualist, I have worked with clients that are going through things. I have worked with clients that, they believe in what we're doing here. Okay. And it's probably because of their bloodline or maybe their intuition is really good. But there are some people that are on here and they actually do have these delusions and they are constantly thinking too deeply or thinking too much. And I'm going to give you guys an example of this because I had to download this voicemail. So y'all get ready. I know that this person's voice sounds like nails scratching on a chalkboard. It literally does. The voice makes me feel physically sick inside because I think that when you have parasites and when you have stuff inside and that when you have things and entities and spirits and parasites inside of you that, are making you ill, whether or not it's mentally or physically, when you contact a spiritualist, they can feel it. Now, the one thing that I can tell you about this person that continuously calls me is that he is in denial about a lot. He's in denial, and then also he hates women. Okay. Coincidentally, he called today at 1:38 p.m. He called Tuesday. He called Sunday. Okay. He called Thursday. This is all within a week. He called, and I can't block him because he calls unknown. He called twice, left 2 voicemails on my birthday. He called on June the 21st. He called on May 29th, which actually he's called since then. There was a gap because what I do is every now and then I'll go through and I'll delete all of his messages because he just fills my inbox up with these messages every other day. And then sometimes when he's really going through a crisis, he calls me every day, sometimes 5 or 6 times per day. Now, I want y'all to listen to his delusion, and I'm going to break this down and explain this to y'all from an authentic spiritualist point of view as far as what's going on with him and what is going on with a lot of these, males and females as they piece things together and they try to come against authentic witches. Okay, so I'm going to play this for you guys. Hold on a second. I'm going to show y'all what we're dealing with here. Oh man, you know what? I'm going to have to just play it. So it won't let me, it will not let me pull it up. I guess it has to have, I guess it has to be some kind of video file. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna just play it, and it'll probably not sound as good because I'm just playing it. You know what? I wonder if I can download it, and then because I'd rather y'all hear him very clearly. And the reason why I want to do this is, oh, I can download it. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick video real quick because I want you guys to be able to hear this person. And this is an example of somebody that is more than likely has some spiritual gifts, but is very, very ill. The mind is not healthy. So that means that he's quite delusional. Okay. And see, this is the reason why, because I'm telling you, listen, I feel that there are some people in this world that they become totally obsessed with famous people, and he must be one of them because he thinks in his mind that I casted a spell to put Bill Cosby in jail, y'all. This and see, this is dangerous. So I just got off the phone with a client, and she said, I would be worried because he's clearly lost touch with reality, and he probably knows your address. And I said, well, I got a crowbar over here waiting for him. If he ever wanted to feel froggy, he could leap and he'll get barreled with that crowbar. Okay. I don't have guns. I don't believe in guns. But you know, so hold on a second. I'm going to let me use this picture. Which picture am I going to use? He said that I put Bill Cosby in jail. I casted a spell. Are y'all listening? And see, you can even tell by the voicemail that he doesn't care whether or not he's guilty or not. So you can understand the psychology of a person like this. Okay. I do care if somebody is guilty or not. And I think that according to the laws that were created by men, then that's possibly how they convicted Bill Cosby. Now, I do work for people that need healing, they need cleansing, they need hex breakers, they need money work. I would never sit here and do work on a famous person. I don't do stuff like that. That's a waste of energy and a waste of time. Hold on a second though. I've got it right here. I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna upload it and let y'all hear how mentally disturbed this person really actually is. And see, this is a problem because famous people, they are on a totally different level. Those are celebrities, okay? The rest of us in this world, we have to remember, even though, hell, I'm a fan of Prince, I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, I am a fan of Beyonce, I am a fan of Rihanna. I'm not a fanatic, I'm not crazy over them, you know, but I am a fan. Okay, I listen to their music. There's a lot of people's music that I listen to. I'm a fan of a lot of different actors and actresses. I enjoy, you know, their movies. But for me to sit at home and say, I'm going to do spiritual work and throw a curse at which I would have no reason to throw any curses at Bill Cosby. In fact, for years, I loved Bill Cosby. He was Dr. Huxtable. So why would I want that? Why would I want, you know, Dr. Huxtable or Bill Cosby to be a murderer and a rapist? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would we want this at all? You think that I like to get up in the morning and hear about people, bad things happening to people? I don't. But I believe that there are some people that do. Okay, and a lot of people were trying to make it seem like just because he was a black man that he shouldn't have been prosecuted for whatever it was that he did. Now, clearly he was released, and evidently the courts felt like he served his time and they was going to let him out. That has nothing to do with me. Okay, now I will tell you that Bill Cosby, I can see it plain as day that he does have a practitioner, but she paid. He probably paid a practitioner $1 million to get that judgment overturned. Jamila didn't receive that. You know, I do have celeb clients, but they don't pay any more than anybody else. Okay, and you know, I don't have like very, very famous celebrity clients like Bill Cosby, but and I was wondering to myself, I was thinking, did he just claim that he did spiritual work to get Bill Cosby out of jail? I am begging you, please, please, until you are mentally stable, do not mess around with magic. I think that there are people that are legitimately, and it's not mental illness. When you see people acting like that, it's mind control. It's usually some kind of demonic possession, and none of it makes any sense. It's not good for people that are mentally ill to even touch magic because it can start to mess up their perception. Now, I'm going to play this and y'all can see, I want y'all to hear how sick this person actually really is. I got to upload it though, because I think it's dangerous. I think that if you are somebody that does have spiritual gifts or you know something about magic, first of all, you got to get the worldly issues off of your head, because half of that stuff that's happening in Hollywood ain't even real. So if you are a person that does aspire to be a spiritualist, you have to get yourself mentally well first. Okay, now what are some examples that would make you not well enough to do work for yourself or other people? Number one is stalking somebody relentlessly. You are not mentally well when you're stalking people that you don't know, or if you're stalking people that you don't know for far too long. You're not mentally well. You're not. At the top of the list is if you now if you were stalking someone because you may be romantically attracted to them, or if you know you may like them, or you may follow somebody and you're just like, oh, I just adore that person, then it's nothing wrong with that. But when you are stalking somebody and you are being a malignant stalker, that's the number one clue that you are not ready to do spiritual work. And this is the reason why my competitors years ago lied on me and said I was stalking somebody, which I wasn't. I'll let you know if I'm blatantly messing with somebody, but you know what I'm saying? At least I have enough good sense to know that I don't have, you know, I'm not entitled to that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is when you hate somebody or you dislike somebody that you don't even know. You know, those can be signs that there may be something going on. And then other things, cutting yourself, hurting yourself. You know, people have went through all sorts of things. So I'm not, so if you're doing those things, then it's probably best for you to not get, definitely don't get involved in no spiritual war. You should never get yourself involved in a spiritual war if your mind is not clicking right. And I think that there's a lot of people that are doing that. They have legitimate mental illnesses, you know, and for me, everything that I talk about is truth. I don't lie about anything. Okay. And see, here's the thing about it. with mentally ill people, which is displaying itself as narcissism. Even when you speak out about certain things, like maybe it could be your father, it could be your ex, what they do is they resort to lying. So narcissistic people, they don't actually like to have this stuff exposed about them. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. They rather lie. They'll say something to you off-putting, and then if somebody questions them about it, they're going to have a clever way to manipulate you into thinking that the person is crazy. When if somebody says something to you, if you're on the phone with somebody, and especially your father, and you tell them that your birthday is coming up and they immediately start hating on you and telling you what you gonna get and what you deserve, what are you gonna try to say, that I imagined all of that? So that's a reality, that person said something to you. Thinking that High Priestess Jamila did a curse on Bill Cosby. I just randomly chose Bill Cosby to do a curse on them, and I brought together all of these women. I made all those women lie on Bill Cosby, but he reversed it, and now Bill Cosby is free. That's somebody that's severely, severely mentally ill. That's no mistaking of somebody. It's not somebody that gets triggered or gets upset by somebody attacking their children. Trust and believe that if somebody was attacking your kids because of your career, you're going to have something to say to that person. That's not proof of somebody being mentally ill because they got upset. So this is what they do. They tinker with you and harass you and then go, oh, look, you're crazy. No, hon. No, you've just severely pissed me off. No, this person, I don't have to say anything about them. I don't even have to be on YouTube. I cannot be on YouTube for a few days and this person will start to call and harass me. This is no joke. And see, for me, I'm very good at sensing people's energy. It's very off-putting. It's very weird. It feels like he's got 1,000 demons on him. So we're going to call to St. Michael to protect us all while we listen to this. I'm going to download it, the voicemail, because I just uploaded it. I'm going to have to put it on public before I download it, though, and I uploaded it to this channel. This man does not need to be thinking about spiritual work or even doing spiritual work. This man needs to let somebody help him so that he can be taken care of and heal himself. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna show y'all how it's gotten so bad. It has gotten so bad. Hold on. I got it right here. And I think that the FBI should go and help this guy. I really do. I think that they should possibly do a 5150 on him to see what is driving him so crazy that he continues to contact a woman that wants nothing to do with him, don't know him. I have no idea who this person is, and I don't want to know. Okay? I don't want to know. But all I know is that this one took the cake. This one right here. And if you hear this man's voice on the phone, I wouldn't pay him for no work. And I said, is this man actually trying to do spiritual work? That's not good. Hold on, y'all. Yes, Mystical, they are all harassing me, but I'm going to be okay once I get this out. Yeah, hold on a second, guys. I'm about to play it.
Remember 2 years ago when Bill Cosby got convicted of sexual assault and you came on YouTube and saying that you were glad that he got put in prison, that he needs to be put in prison, that he should have been in prison for the rest of his life. And I came behind you and said, no, for one, those accusations are 30, 40 plus years old. There's no way to prove either way. And that was that. But you came out and was like, oh yeah, and your magic and your powers is responsible for putting him behind bars. No, baby. Like I said, your spells don't work. Because I reversed it. I countered that shit. And guess what, baby? As of today, Bill Cosby is a free man. He's walking out of the doors. So again, Jamila, what have you really accomplished?
You hear that? Now, first of all, I never said that I did a curse on Bill Cosby to put him in jail. So he made that up just for the sake of argument. So I've never said that. Now, if a man is guilty of raping all of those women, a normal person, exactly, a normal person would say, well, then I'm glad he went to jail. If he is actually a rapist, I'm happy that he went to jail. This man tells me that either way, he don't care whether or not this man violated women at all, as long as he didn't go to jail. So I'm wondering who this person actually is, and if anybody out there ever hears that voice, don't you dare send him any money. He is delusional. Yes, he is, he is delusional. First of all, do I care enough to do a reading? I probably will, because I believe that he did it. Okay, I believe that he did it personally. Okay. That was my first thought process behind it. Okay. It is not up to me. First of all, I don't do spells to put men in jail. So no, I did not do any spell on Bill Cosby. But if you notice, evidently you must think that I'm so powerful that I had the power to put Bill Cosby in jail, and he's delusional enough to think that he counteracted the spell to lock Bill Cosby up, and now he's out. Now, would you go to that man and ask him to do some spiritual work for you? Anybody that's had a consultation or work done from me, you got to ask yourself that question. Why, first of all, why would you be sitting at home doing spells for Bill Cosby? Why would you be doing that? So you can tell that it's not any kind of reality. This man is not in reality, obviously, because why are you so concerned about Bill Cosby? Because Bill Cosby played a role in a movie? Well, they let him out, Mystical. He's out of prison. He's definitely out of prison. I looked it up and he's definitely out. I didn't feel two ways about it, because I feel like personally, it looks like to me that he's very sick. To me, it looks like Bill Cosby may have some kind of terminal illness or something, because, just he looks really, really, really old for his age. Okay. He looks like he is aging horribly. So that somehow he pulled some strings. Either way, I'm not going to judge my life based upon Bill Cosby, whether or not he's in jail or not. So you mean to tell me that if Bill Cosby would have stayed in prison, that you would have felt like a failure? That you read that he didn't want to leave? See, I don't even follow the story. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather not even think about. Honestly, I don't focus on the negative things that are happening in this world, especially things that I can't control. What I focus on is the clients that pay me, and then also my family, my loved ones, the people that I deal with, my clients and their family. That's it. So, who does this, and why are these people contacting regular people? And I can tell you why. I can tell you why, y'all. He's obsessed with famous people. But since he can't get to famous people, he'd rather call and harass Jamila, is what he'd rather do. So he can't get to nobody that's famous. And if you're on YouTube, I guess you're halfway famous. And if he can get to you, he'll contact you. You know, I like the arts, I like entertainment, I like music, but damn it, you know, I'm a regular person living a living a regular life. Personally, I'm not sitting around obsessing over hold on guys. Hold on real quick. Oh, there you go. That damn thing came right in and buzzed right over my damn head. Sorry about that, y'all. I had a little emergency with it looked like it was a cicada or something that it came up in here. So I'm back. So, you know, I'm begging you, please, if you are somebody that has lost touch with reality, because honestly, you know, magic, it is a very interesting, magical feeling. It is. And we see all kind of stuff. We see orbs, we see rainbows, you know, we see all kind of stuff. But when it comes to the point where you actually believe that High Priestess Jamila, because I gave my opinion of thinking that he was guilty, of feeling that he was guilty, that I somehow did a spell on Bill Cosby to send him to jail. No, I don't do that. I don't do that at all. Trust me, all those candles down there that I have in stock, all those herbs, those candles and those herbs are for me, myself, and my clients and my family. I'm not going to sit up here and do spells on famous people. That's a waste of time. So I don't do that. Now, I think that there are a lot of witches that are probably pointing some negative energy towards Dr. Fauci, which is understandable. That's a lot different. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't believe it. And I think that he does do this to get my attention. So I get that. I get that. It's attention grabbing. He just wanted to get my attention, but I still on some real stuff, like real talk, to come and talk to y'all, just listening to the things that this man said. He's in a delusion. So he's sitting over there angry at me, obviously trying to light candles on me, angry at me, thinking that I put Bill Cosby in jail. I think it's preposterous. And if y'all ever, because I believe that if he does spiritual work for people, he's just scamming. Okay, because something ain't right about that. I don't know any, like if you're a spiritualist, like, and I don't see how you can call yourself a spiritualist when you're stalking somebody. So he finally admitted that he calls himself trying to do spiritual work on people. Somebody like that, I wouldn't want to touch me spiritually, because clearly whatever is touching him is not, it's not serving him. This man calling me every other day, it doesn't serve anybody's purposes. It annoys the hell out of me. There is nobody in this world that wants to be pursued like that. Nobody. Hey, Shireen. And he's a violator. If somebody tells him, hey, don't call into my business, and you still call, clearly there is something really, really wrong with you. And this has been going on since 2016. Yeah, 5 years in a row. Like, I'm talking about back-to-back calls. I had to remove Google Voice from my phone. He does. He needs to get some help. He needs to get some help, seriously, because you know what? And I believe that there was some kind of trauma that is so deep, and he's so deep in denial. You can't be in denial about your trauma. That's the one thing about it, is that you have to face it. And you know, somebody like him is not only in denial about his trauma, but he also doesn't care about other people being victimized and being harmed. Because you know, I don't break crimes. I don't commit crimes against people because I don't want to hurt another human being. I'm not going to, you know, even if it was legal, if Spirit said, hey, it's legal to go ahead and just pop off your stalker or somebody that's bothering you, and this is purge day, I wouldn't want anything to do with that, because I don't want to suffer like that, because that's something that, you know, people don't realize that that ain't nothing to play around with. You know, I would never, ever, ever want to, and he pissed me off earlier so much, y'all. We're not human. Okay. Y'all, let me tell you something about magic. Magic is very, very real. It's not something that you can that you can use to necessarily create a fake reality, because people are going to figure that out after a while. People are going to say, wait a minute, this don't seem right. Something ain't right with this, you know. And so I don't know, like for me, I feel that I do practice manifestation magic, but I also practice practical magic, which is the exorcisms. Okay, those are really, really important. And banishing and getting stuff out of people. Like this man, obviously it's turned into like a mental problem, and he could possibly use my help. Am I going to sit up here and go, I'm going to do some work to help this dude so that he can stop calling? No, I'm not. That's not how it works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to, it's kind of like you, if it's any kind of trauma, and I understand that trauma can be hard. You know, I remember being traumatized from the time I was in my mother's womb. And so I have always kind of, and not always, but like for the past year or two, I've been feeling like that I'll say, I don't want to die before I was even given a chance to live. And so when my mom was pregnant with me, she actually went to the abortion clinic. I knew as a baby that she was there, and I knew that it was a possibility that I was going to die. And my mother told me, she said I was going to do it, but then a nurse walked in with long yellow fingernails, and I said, hell no, y'all not going to touch me. That's what my mother said. But I think she just wanted me. I think she just wanted me. But back then, during the 70s, it was very embarrassing, and it was a stigmatization for women to be unmarried and pregnant. And so my mother was going through a lot when she was pregnant with me. And, but I still have that memory, even though I wasn't here yet. I remember her being there talking to them about killing me. So it's very, very real. And I feel like for me, I like to use my magic to produce love, to produce money, to produce, just that serenity and that ecstasy. I don't really like to create any kind of misery for anybody unless I'm sending something back to them. I truly believe that people have to deal with their own demons. You have to deal with your own demons. You know what I'm saying? You do. And it just is, it's not right for these people. And you know what? The reason why they had to make all of this more lax is because it was so many women that were being railroaded because of that. And I think women had changed a lot. But back in the day, this guy he'd probably be quarantined away from the rest of society, because you're not a good part of society when you are running down people like that. And then for you to get so delusional, like I hope he's watching right now. You need to get help. If you honestly believe that you casted a magical spell to get Bill Cosby out of prison, you've got a mental problem. I'm not saying that it can't be done, and I'm not saying that Bill Cosby didn't have a witch. I feel like it was a witch that got him released, but he had to pay a pretty penny for that. So we all know that a sick stalker that harasses me every other day is not mentally sound enough to manifest $1 million client. You're just not doing that, but in his mind, he is. Right, exactly. You're right. It is an op. It is. My thing is, why won't he come for you out of all of them other ladies who went to court? Exactly. Exactly. Like, I wasn't one of the women that he raped. Let's look at a list of Bill Cosby's victims here. They got a whole picture of them. Okay, they got a whole bunch of pictures of these women. Okay, hold on. Let me share screen real quick, y'all. Yeah, why would he come for me? What did I do? I didn't have nothing to do with that. But in his delusional mind, in his delusion, he actually believes. Here's all the women. All of the women that Bill Cosby allegedly raped. All of them right here. I made all these women testify against Bill Cosby, and that's why he went to jail, and you got him out. You can still be somebody. You can still be a valid person, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with a famous person. Yeah, I think that man wants to sleep with you. He sounds deranged. Oh, God. That's why he idolizes Bill Cosby. You got to watch out for that guy. He sounds dangerous. Yeah. Right. It's my fault. It's my fault that Bill Cosby, even though he committed these crimes supposedly before I was even born. So something is going to have to give. And I can guarantee you that this man will continue to call. It doesn't matter if I embarrass him publicly. It doesn't matter if I say to him to his face, look, you have a sick problem. You have a sick problem, because I'm telling you, he's been calling. He's been calling for 6 years straight. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 6 years of this man calling me. And it's very disturbing. Listen to the voice. It sounds disturbing. I agree, Mystical, but you know what? They don't really.
Remember 2 years ago when Bill Cosby got convicted?
I'll try to get the authorities involved, Mystical. What I was planning on doing was downloading a few of his videos and then screenshotting the calls, the back-to-back calls, and then sending it to the IC3, because at this point it's turned into a felony. It's turned it, first of all, this is a privately owned business. This is not a public business. My business is privately owned, a small business, and this man is consistently contacting me. And you know what? Maybe he needs to contact a therapist. Okay, a lot of people may say that I need therapy, but I will give myself therapy the way that I choose. You know, I've had stuff that happened to me, but I'm not messed up about it. All I know is that I woke up this morning. I love the fact that God gave me another day. But people like this, right? He was bragging. He was bragging, and everybody knows that Bill Cosby was guilty. He's guilty as sin. There is no way 35 different women are going to accuse you of rape, and it could, and what did they do? Did they all, was it a conspiracy against Bill Cosby? You know, and so I don't, like I said, I don't know much about him, about the case. I did not watch the, you know, the indictments and stuff like that. I didn't watch that stuff. But, you know, I think that, right. Like, and they're talking about, remember 2 years ago. Actually, I wasn't thinking about 2 years ago. What are you talking about? And it's just all of this petty, weird shit that he's been calling me with for 6 years straight. He said, yeah, he'll probably call me too. Anything that ever happens to a famous black man, this man is going to contact me. It can even be a man that I ain't even spoke on. He contacts me all the time. He contacts me and you know, has these debates with me, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And clearly he lives near some railroad tracks, because did you hear the train in the background? Oh. And I think it's disgusting for him to even be calling a woman confronting me about that. It just goes to show how some men, and see, it's crazy because, again, rape is not about sex. Rape is about control. That's what rape is about. It's not about sex. It's not about somebody being sexy. It is about control. It is. And it's about overpowering somebody. And so somebody with that kind of thought process, you know, he's going to be very lonely and distraught, because instead of you being able to make a connection with another human being, you know, you doing things like that. And I just think it's sad. And I wish this dude would just stop calling me, you know, and it's just constant harassment, y'all. And it's been going on for far too long. I mean, it has been 6 years, and he just keeps calling. And, you know, I think that people that have a lot of demons and mental illness, I think that they know that they're mentally ill and they're demonic, and they have to call people like me, because I'm very empathic. I can absorb shit really easily. But I'm already dealing with my own father, my own children, my own life. And why do I have to deal with this man? Where is this man's mama? And you know what, Mystical? You know what? There have been times where I have tried to do spiritual work on him. I think it was one time, and he did stop calling for a while, but he picked right back up. And I believe that it's because somebody's putting a battery in his back. Somebody must be encouraging him to do this on some level. Because, I've tried myself to get him to stop calling. I've actually done spiritual work, which I feel stupid doing it because I'm like, I don't know this man. And, it didn't help. He just kept calling. Yeah. He sounds like he would do anything to you. So now I'm worrying about you because that man had made up his mind now. Yeah. Do I think he may be getting paid to do this? You know what? I haven't really looked into it that much. Yes and no. I think that energetically, I think that he does feed off of my throat chakra energy, because when you call Google Voice, there's an actual, I have an actual voice message on there. And he's left so many messages that other people wasn't even able to leave messages. So he's been filling up my inbox for 6 years now. Yes and no. I think that he feels connected with me when he does that. So that's why every time I do get a phone call from him, I ask Saint Michael to cut the cord and to banish him. He just continues to do it. Do you have any enemies that would do something like that? Oh yeah, mystical, I do. I do have enemies that would do something like that. Yeah. But what is the point though? He hasn't stopped anything. That's just like, I don't remember a few years ago about Bill Cosby, but I do remember a few years ago before I moved into this house, he called and told me that I couldn't get a house, even though I've been getting houses my whole life. Whether or not I was on a housing assistance or not, in the past, I still had to qualify. He called me and told me that I couldn't get a house because my credit was not good enough. So he's very, very, very interested in what I'm doing, who I'm doing, and my finances. He's interested in my finances and why I don't know. And I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, y'all. This is going to make y'all really, really understand this. He hates women. That's what it is. Apparently something traumatic happened. I've had my heart broke in a million pieces, but I healed and I don't hate men. I get irritated with the fact that, with some of the things that they do, but I believe that it's hatred for women is what I think is good old hatred for women, vagina envy too. It is something to look into. I may report it, I may not, but being on YouTube has been one of the most rewarding experiences for me. But on the flip side, if I could go without him calling, because he's annoying, and he even has an annoying voice. And sometimes he'll call and he'll say, I'm going to come down there and I'm going to take you out for lunch and I want to see you. But, women, if you hear a man's voice before you meet them, you may be attracted to his voice. I'm not attracted to him at all. Nothing about him. Like, not even his voice. Yes, a woman did that. Yep. And he never got over it. And he never got over it. That's exactly what's going on. And he never got over it. He never healed from it. And now I guess it's High Priestess Jamila's problem. And evidently nobody had that talk with him to not be a curse on people's life, but to be a blessing. Why would you go throughout the past 6 years because of whatever it is that he has went through? He's taking it out on me. And I guess I'm the only woman in the world to him. Because somebody that has never met Bill Cosby in person, I'm the one that put him in jail. And it let me know how mentally ill he was. I was like, for real? It's sick, y'all. And I don't, he sounds sick just by the tone of his voice. He sounds really, really sick inside. And it's like, I don't want you calling my phone. And I've actually had other sick men say stuff like, oh, you must enjoy it. Why would I enjoy somebody calling me, filling up my inbox so that other people, actual clients, can't call? I've had people text me saying, hey, I couldn't call you because your voicemail was full. Because this fool is calling and filling up my voicemail. Like, I wish I could show y'all all of the calls, but some of my other stuff is in there too. He just calls unknown, unknown, unknown. Like right now, I'm looking at least 30 phone calls in the past month. And you know what? If when there is a time that I get sick and tired of him, I will do some serious work on him. I ain't did no serious work on him because, you know, I'm not like most women. I'm not necessarily disturbed by the phone calls because they're not coming straight through to me. But whenever I check my voicemail, I gotta hear this crazy fool talking crazy. And he feels that he doesn't have to be embarrassed by his own behavior. I think it's ridiculous. I do. And I believe that it is legitimate mental illness. I do. I am convinced now. At first I thought that I thought that somebody had sent him and all of that, and somebody probably did. But in order for somebody to send you to do some shit like that as an adult, especially, like, kids play on people's phone. I remember making prank calls when I was a kid. I think everybody has done that. You know what I'm saying? But when this man sound like he at least 60, he's calling my phone. And he's actually delusional enough to believe, and I didn't even know what state did Bill Cosby go to jail in. I don't know anything about that. And it's just every single other day. And it is frustrating because he's being disrespectful to me. He feels that he does not have to show me or my business respect because I'm a woman. And it's driven them crazy. Like, thank God my spells do work. Thank God they do work because, men like this, they would sit around and watch you and your children starve to death. That's how sick and mentally ill they are. And women have to be strong in this world, because if I were to listen to him, I would have nothing. If I actually held on to every word that this crazy man says that I've never met in my life, just based upon his messages, if I go back and look at any of his messages, it's just constantly, he's having religious beliefs. He's commenting on, no, you didn't start the show with one of my favorite groups, E40 and the Clique. He just random shit. Just saw your little reading on Kaya Bryant. Calling me, talking about Tyree. Calling me just out to lunch. This man is out to lunch. And a lot of men that do that, it's because they know that other men don't care. Some men don't care. Anything that's crazy making, they support it. For you to be a man to sit around and watch a woman get attacked like that every single day, I question you a lot. I question you as a man. Yeah, he's and literally as a woman, and this is a man doing spiritual work. For me to do it ain't gonna work. Maybe if I had a man that was doing spiritual work. I don't want to have a fight with this man. You know, he is a man. And why should women have to deal with that? So I'm gonna ask him again publicly before I go, y'all, because I'm ready to watch a movie. I'm sorry I didn't do any readings today. I know y'all like the readings. I'm sorry. What I want to say to him in closing is that I am going to ask you one more time to stop calling my company phone number. Don't call again. You have went too far. You have exposed how sick you are. Now it's time for you to go away and get help. Listen, you don't even have to get help. Just go away. Don't contact me anymore. And what's disrespectful is that the people that call my company line and leave messages, they're looking for spiritual help. This man is looking to do psychological damage to me by phone, by voicemail. No, it's not good. It's not good for this man to constantly and consistently be sending me messages like this. Trust me, I don't want any of his messages. I don't want to hear from him at all. And I'm going to say to him publicly, do not contact me anymore. Ever. And then another thing is that since I kind of knew he was doing spiritual work, because every time he would call me, I would feel like this weird spiritual energy. Now he's going to have to be binded. And thank God that he is. First of all, if I were able to put Bill Cosby, a multi-millionaire, if I were able to put him in jail even for a year, that's got to be pretty powerful. But I didn't. I would never claim that. I don't claim stuff like that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that, Mystical. And you know what? I get irritated, especially when it comes to our people, African American people, because for some reason they think that they're special to the point where, you know, they can just do anything that they want. And as long as they do it to a Black person, because they're Black, you shouldn't report them to the white man. In which it's totally ridiculous. I want to look at the judge real quick that put Bill Cosby in jail real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let's take a look at the judge if they have him on here. Okay. Okay. Cosby's first trial ended with a hung jury in 2017 when jurors couldn't reach a unanimous decision on his culpability. But he was found guilty at his second trial after the judge, Stephen O'Neill, allowed prosecutors to call 5 prior accusers, 4 more than in the first trial. So it was Stephen O'Neill. Stephen O'Neill is who put Bill Cosby in jail, not Jamila. Jamila doesn't have the power to put this very powerful and rich man in prison. Also, another thing, I don't deal with celebrities, man. I do work for regular people, man, for real. I don't do that. I don't follow around celebrities, you know, doing no. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, that's pretty much status quo, you know, in the community that, you know, especially if you're a Black woman and a Black man does something to you, you are not supposed to speak out about it. Because if you do that, then you're working for the white man or something. You're just supposed to sit here and just let this man continue to victimize you. And then that's just what it is, you know. This is the reason why I was in solitude for so many years, because I can't deal with it. I like to actually wake up every day and feel good. I don't want to wake up every day feeling like crap for nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't do that. You know, I really don't. You know, I would prefer to honor the Most High and appreciate every single day of my life. And another thing, just to let y'all know, I appreciate you guys' support as far as me speaking about my experiences with family. I really appreciate you guys' support on that, because I believe that if I had never gotten on YouTube, that they may have done something to me a long time ago. I don't know. It is very healing. It is very liberating to be able to confront the people that have been doing horrific things to you your entire life. It feels very liberating, and it is a part of the process. It is a part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I saw Ghost Dead, I kind of I saw that movie too. The movie was so silly. I got the vibe that Bill Cosby is a warlock practicing black magic. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You're right about that, Mystical. You are absolutely right about that. And for him to even get to that point, in as far as in his career, you know, it's, and we don't know what he was doing to those women when they were passed out. He might have been doing rituals on them or something. You never know. Yeah. Well, and you know what, Mystical? I wouldn't have done it had they not tried to do it to me. Does that make sense? Like, for years, I was like, oh my God, the smear campaign was real. The smear campaign was real. I'm telling you, for years. If they hadn't have done that to me, I wouldn't have had any reason. And what I was saying earlier is that if you are a woman with a good father, you're not going to experience that. You're not. You're not going to experience all of that, especially when you have proof that somebody is cool with somebody that's been doing those things to you. So that's why those things had to be exposed. And then, you know, also another thing, I've been constantly banishing things from away from my sons. I've had to constantly cleanse my sons, because you got people that are sending stuff to them. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and everybody deserves to just live their life the way that they want to live it. If I want to get married as an old woman, because they claim that I'm old, geriatric, I'm very, very old. And if I want to have a baby at the age of 44 or 45, or if I want to live my life, whose business of it is? I'm not asking those people to take care of my children. So what they do is they go, oh, I can see you over there making enough money and earning enough money to support your children. Now what I'm going to do is try to make it impossible for you to support your children by harassing your business and trying to block bust on you. So it's been an ongoing thing, and just an ongoing battle, you know, and it sucks, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you something, it's irritating, it's annoying, but I'm always constantly staying blessed. Maybe he likes you, but too chicken to confront you. He's deranged enough to think he's doing nothing wrong, delusional. Yeah, you're right, kitty corner Bruno, but you know, his energy has always just rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? It's just always rubbed me the wrong way. And technically, you're not going to get attention from a woman doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that he does have it really, really confused because of other stuff. You see what I'm saying? So he's very confused. But and very disrespectful when a woman says, hey, I'm not interested, I'm taken, I'm seeing somebody, that should be it. And this is a part of society that has lost. He's totally lost. He's lost. Right. Right, exactly. He's trying to control me with threats and harassment. You're right. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And I think he thinks because it worked for somebody else that it's going to work for him. But I can assure you that that is a totally different situation that has nothing to do with that man. He wouldn't even understand it if he tried, especially when you delusional enough to think that, I've got people that have pain in their body. I have people that have heart disease. I have people that have stomach problems. I have people that have parasites. I have people that have all kind of stuff. I focus on that, and at least I'm trying to. I'm not looking for a man. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I think anytime I'm emotional, I get to talk like, but technically I'm not looking for a man. You can't really find a man. Men usually find you. It usually just happens. It's one of those things. He likes speaking to me. So he's speaking to me right now, Kitty Corner Bruno. We're having a conversation right now because I've never spoken to this man. Me and him ain't talking. We're not dating. But how is, you know what? Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's feeding his ego at all. I don't think that he appreciates when I'm not just doing this to you. He's doing this to others also. That's what I say. Yeah, you're right. I bet you he is. And I bet you he's contacting spiritualists all over YouTube. Contacting spiritualists. And he's mad and angry because I won't talk to him. Like when he calls, and the Google Voice thing will say, state who you are, and your call will be connected. And he says, me. Who the hell is me? I don't know you. So no, Kitty Corner Bruno, I'm not planning on hooking up with him anytime soon or ever. Okay. I don't see how somebody saying to a man no is feeding his ego though. I don't get that. He probably does, Miss Go. I don't see how a woman saying no is feeding a man's ego. I would say that a woman saying no would pretty much be a hint for the man to, like, I don't know, stop calling. Because he tries to pretend that he has my number. He's never had my number. And it was so weird because somehow I went in and I changed my settings to where his voicemails were actually coming through to my regular voicemail. So I had to completely disassociate my regular number from Google Voice. And that's how annoying he is. So, I don't know. I think that you're right though, Kitty Corner Bruno. I think that he's feeling like, well, you did it before, and so no. Hell no. And I've gotten to the point where I have thought about changing my number or either having a private number that I just give to clients. But if I change my number, I would have to go through every single video. Y'all know that number has been connected to a lot of my videos on this channel. So it would be too big of a change that I would have to make. Of course, I can update the video description box, but then what about the actual phone number? Like I've got videos with that number included. So if I change that number, then people may try to reach me at that number and they can't. So that's one of the reasons why I don't change the Google Voice number. So, yeah. Well, Kitty Corner Bruno, if you could please let him know that me responding to him in social media, that's not speaking to me. This is me saying to him, you are harassing me. I don't want to hear from you. Stop calling. That's it. So that's not, I don't think that that's engaging with him. I think that I am a frustrated mom. I am frustrated and I am overworked. Okay. I'll be in the middle of working. Like if I can tell y'all, if I leave YouTube for a couple of days, he's calling. And it's almost like, and you know what, you're right, Bruno. Right now and any other time that I go live, he's actually mentally ill enough to think that I'm talking directly to him. You're right about that. You're right about that. He actually thinks that I'm having a conversation with him. So what I will feel if I'm gone for a couple of days from YouTube, I will feel him trying to, do something to manipulate me into going live. And it's so weird. I'm going to tell you what I really believe. I don't believe the dude is human. He gets a kick out of everything he do to people all the time. It makes him feel great at night. He sleeps well knowing he done bad. Yeah, you're right, Shireen. You're right about that. I suppose it could be worse. I just thank God that he hasn't shown up over here, because if he showed up over here and said, it's me, I would immediately call the police on him if he were to show up at my home. So, and that's the bad thing about YouTube, is that all of these people that are celebrity crazed, they sort of look at YouTubers as celebrities, in which we're not. And you'd be surprised at the people that have gotten killed that were YouTubers. There's a long list of YouTubers that have been murdered by stalkers. So am I worried about that? No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't worry about things like that. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Because the damage is already done. Why worry about something if the damage is already done? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm already here. I can't go back and change it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I guess it's just one of those things, that I'm going to have to live with. But from a business perspective, I think that it's disrespectful, because that is not a dating line. My phone number is not the date chat hotline. It's not. It's a privately owned business. I wish I did have that kind of pull to where the police would find out who he is, but I don't. I don't have that kind of pull for them to find out who he is or where the calls are coming from. I'm pretty sure that he's using some kind of technology, possibly, so that he can't be found out. And then also he's calling unknown. So, and then some of my clients will actually call unknown too, because they may have an unknown or private unlisted number. And they actually have to leave messages for me and, say, hey, this is my number, call me back. But when I see unknown callers show up, I just automatically assume that it's him. And how do you tell men in the world that we live in today no, and they actually believe it? That's if he does have some kind of romantic interest in me. How do you tell them no and them know that you actually mean it? Now, if a man were in social media saying, I'm her husband, stop calling, he would, but that's not what's happening. So he feels that I'm unprotected. He feels that I'm available for him whenever he feels like calling. And he feels that he pretty much has the right to do that, especially being that I am single. Or because I don't have a man out in social media saying, hey, this is my woman, leave her alone. If that were happening, he would probably stop. Yeah, you're right, Mystical. And right now, I can tell you that I've got voicemails from him going all the way back to 2015. And so he's definitely guilty. He's definitely guilty. It's a felony. It's a felony. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you silly, my redeemer. I need to get me some more wine. I ran out earlier. I didn't feel like going up there to get more. So anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really sometimes need somebody to talk to about this stuff all the time. I don't plan on being single too much longer either. I'm talking about as far as single and living alone. I don't plan on having that crap for too much longer. For real, because men think that, oh, that means that it's open season on Jamila, and that's not fair because and sometimes I feel like I'm in a relationship, but I don't have any of the benefits. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll see y'all later, y'all. Have a good evening. Peace and love to y'all. Bye-bye.